We're live, Bill.
Got it. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of MSATP TV. Joining us this morning is Sami Satouri and Paul Chadowski with Quest Insurance. And so, Sami, you want to take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself and Quest Insurance?
Absolutely, Bill. Greeting and Happy New Year to all of you. Delighted to be the first in this year's TV series for MSATP. And we're proud to say this is our practically the fourth year, right, Bill? Being
Yes.
associated with the MSATP. The tremendous joy that we extract out of interacting with members and providing some services to them has gendered lots of enthusiasm in the agency. Just a little background, Quest Insurance has been established almost 30 years ago now. September 2022 will be the year we celebrate our 30th. We've been helping business owners throughout the metro area, including Maryland, DC, and Virginia, and 30 other states, by the way, providing them with all the services they need for their risk management, which includes any of the risk transfer for their professional, property and alike, as well as employee benefits. And that's exactly what we attempted to do for the membership of MSATP, providing you with some great solutions to some chronic problem and needs that different members have, whether that's dealing with their professional liability, which is E&O for short, error and omission, or cyber, which is a chronic problem. Bill, as you know, things are really getting heated up as far as cyber intrusion, cyber liability and the like. Paul going to tell you a little bit more about that. Also in the space of long-term care, which unfortunately that space from a product perspective run out of steam. No carrier provides such a product anymore. So we brought to MSATP a very good solution that sustained the test of time. And finally, we added some other ancillary things. So we're here to help. We're not here to sell product, Bill. I emphasize that to my staff. We're here to provide solutions that, again, last the test of time, and we're doing it with integrity, transparency, and hard work.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that. Because everybody likes to be sold to.
Indeed, indeed. And that's a challenge, right? And so the
exactly.
The perception of insurance, you say the outer word insurance, and, and people tense up, right?
Right.
Hey, what he's going to sell me? Well, it so
Right.
happened in a few interactions that we had, you know, the every one of these subject matters. I think you yourself told me when you survey the membership and ask them what keep them at night. Long-term care is one of the top topics. Cyber intrusion
Yes, it is.
and things like that are very important to them. So for those, not only do we have a prevention, but we also have solutions as well.
Okay. So, Paul, what do you want to talk to us about this morning?
Well, you know, what I want to talk about, first of all, wish everyone a happy new year, and all of you may be dealing with our branch of second part of Snowmageddon. So I hope all of you are staying safe and warm wherever you're at, first of all. But what I want to talk about really is three things that we're looking at. But I first want to talk about the high level picture of it. Even though our industries are different, the similarities are this: providing security and protection. You do that with all of your clients in terms of they need to feel good who they're dealing with, that their information is secure, and that you're protecting their best interest. And we're looking to do it ourselves. And so to that end, the three particular issues we'll talk about is one, those that have the property and liability, your business insurance and errors and omissions, your professional liability. Also, as Sami mentioned, the life insurance combined with a long-term care, which was an interest of your members. And finally, something that applies to all of us, because we all use digital experience, is cybersecurity. How do we protect ourselves and our clients from opening up a suspicious email and then having it invade our data, or even our own personal? So those are the three that I do want to talk about: the business insurance, the life and long-term care, and the cybersecurity option, and specifically the benefits we've developed for our MSATP partnership.
Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the cybersecurity?
Okay, the cybersecurity, that is through Achillian. And what Achillian is what their message is they want to be proactive. So often, if you look at water sensors in your house, well, that's great. You have a water sensor, but by the time it goes off, what happened? Well, water is already there. So it's good that you have the sensor to do that, but you've already had maybe some damage. What's great about Achillean is they're going prior to that. They want to even stop, in this case, any phishing or any damage that you might be tempted to open up an email or have someone provide malware in there into their own particular devices. And Achillean puts on their software onto your phone, onto your iPad, onto your computer, and you go through a discussion with them. They have a live person that goes through the onboarding, and then you have this VPN, virtual private network, that actually is fighting for you 24/7. And they provide cybersecurity insurance too. If there happens to be a breach, no one's perfect, but they are very proactive in what they do to avoid and not have you disruption, so that you can shop at ease. Your clients can, some people use their personal devices for business. Emails, well, that's another door of getting in. You want to protect the personal and the company, and Achillean provides that for you. And we have several plans that if it's just protecting 2 devices, if you want to protect your whole family, and if you want to offer it, some we're finding clients are offering it as a benefit to their team. They just look to get it and they said, you know what, we want to offer this benefit to our employees. And so we have that. And so there's a lot of different features, very easy sign up for those that want to do it, and a lot of information that we provide for you to give you that protection.
As a matter of fact,
Okay.
Bill, just to confirm what and give credence to what Paul mentioned, we decided here in the agency, since working from home became the practically what everybody's doing, anybody having their email on their mobile device, they need to have this software installed, and that's a company policy. The cost of the software annually, right, Paul, is less than $200 a year. So, so one intrusion can pay for almost 50 of these memberships. And plus the fact that once you install and you be aware and you know about the intricate detail how these different malicious actors are working, you become very sensitized to those issues, and it bears tremendous fruit, not only from a protection point of view, but like Paul said, also in the event that unfortunately things happen, there is $1 million worth of coverage in there as well.
Right, and you only can use this. You don't need any other type of antivirus software. This is just on its own the only one that you would ever need. So when you're looking at a cost analysis, you don't need to have Norton or some of the other malwares type of software. You can just have the Achillean, and it's the special pricing we have, and you won't need to continue those other subscriptions with the other companies.
All right, well, thank you. And as far as what would be a good lead for your company by one of our members, what would you say?
Well, first of all, every member is a good lead right there. So we'd love every member to be a part of that, and every member that has family members. Because remember, if the kids have the access and they're on there and they get into something and all the different things. So from that standpoint, the individual members and their families. The others are your clients, any of your clients that have that, again, whether they have businesses and they have people that use their, mobile devices they don't have a separate phone or iPad for this, that they are a good source too, that even your clients, you could look to pass this service on to them, that they can provide it and have it for themselves, their families, or their employees.
It's been very hard. It's been very hard in the industry to have a carrier that provide an individual product. Cyber, it's typically reserved for businesses, and it's built on a chassis of liability for businesses. This is the only product we know of, Bill, that can individually avail themselves of it at a very reasonable cost for them and their family. In other words, bringing cyber liability and cyber protection to the masses, if you wish. And so that's why we think this is very appealing. So whether the CPA for their own corporate structure and their employee or their individual or their families, the product works very well. It's very easy to install, very easy to interact with, and extremely rewarding in terms of protection. One protection, one incident can pay for, like I said, years worth of premiums.
Right, exactly. All right, is there anything else that you want to tell us today?
Moving from that, we'd love to talk about what was number one interest. My understanding was the long-term care along with the life insurance. So discussing, that particular product through Transamerica, a very well-respected company, where you can get combination of life insurance, which we all need is protection for whether it is final expenses or other expenses that are there, but also having the benefit of something that's long-term care, because none of us like to think about it. But sometimes if we aren't able to, we may have a stroke, we may have that car accident. You don't have to be old either. We think of long-term care as the elderly. You can be 15 and need long-term care or whatever if there's a serious enough incident or accident. And it's costly to take care of us if we can't feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, get out of bed, go to the toilet, all of these different. And if you can't do 2 of those 6 activities, the life insurance that is purchased, there's a benefit in there that allows you tax-free, that uses some of the money to pay a monthly benefit. So this product, it's a $50,000 worth of universal life cash value life insurance, and all of you in the tax world know about the tax deferred status and the benefit of cash value, but it's a life insurance product. And then in there is a benefit, or a rider as we call it, that you can use up to 4% of that. So a $50,000 life insurance guaranteed. So some of you, maybe your health, or you don't want to go through the underwriting and applying, we have a product where you can get $50,000, very few questions asked, and get that guaranteed. The rate is locked for as long as you have the policy, and you can use 4% of that, or $2,000 a month, to actually use for long-term care. And that comes to tax-free benefit. And the other nice benefit is it's an indemnity product, which means you don't have to pay first for long-term care and then send us and we reimburse you for those bills. They pay you first right off, which is a really nice feature, and a feature that has gone away in long-term care, because a lot of them, they want you to pay the bills first and then you get reimbursed. This will pay the $2,000 tax-free. And then in the event of your death, let's say you have $50,000 and you've used $25,000 in long-term care and there is a death, the beneficiary gets $25,000. The difference of it, tax-free. But it is a really great way to get anyone's thought into long-term care, because this is where it's moving, where it used to be individual products. You didn't even hardly have to ask any questions. You just had to make sure you were alive and you could pay the bill. Now they're very stringent in underwriting, and this is a great opportunity for people that say, I want to get something, and it's very easy to do. We've worked with Transamerica to get a special product for MSAT members, and we need to at least get 5 members to actually have this great program for everyone to actually sign on. Your spouse can get on. There's a rate for the spouse, and there's a rate for children too. All of this on a guaranteed basis.
Okay.
And Bill, some of the people get a little bit of an aversion as to the word life insurance. So historically, this area of long-term care had suffered from some actuarial sort of misnomer, if you wish. The way the product was initially priced and sold was not commensurate with the losses that the carrier has incurred. And so subsequently, most of them got out of business because they lost lots of money. They factored in some numbers that did not materialize, both in terms of medical inflation and drop rates. And so the life insurance, however, has much more robust track record, economic and reserves. So it provides the policyholder peace of mind, whereby not only do they have a cash value built in this policy, but also the actuarial formula that was built for this product will provide longevity for up to 110. So the premium does not change. Your policy builds cash value that you can use at later dates, particularly if you're, if a young professional, this would be a phenomenal way for you to build a little bit of a nest egg. And on the top of that, in the event that something happened in the course of your journey, 2 out of 6 activities of daily living lost, then all of a sudden you have 4% cash out of the policy, tax-free, that you could use. Very hard to find, where with one stone you do 3 birds. And so we want to emphasize to the membership that it would be practically impossible to go out there in the field and buy coverage without any question asked. None. No question about medical, no question about anything. And so, and not only with that, but it's very reasonably priced, and it's sustained and tested up to 110, which very, very attractive in terms of actuarial pricing. So we think MSATP membership would be remiss if they don't take advantage of this. And unfortunately, the window is not huge. So Transamerica gave us a few months to accentuate this. Remember, this is our second attempt, so to speak. A couple of years ago, we attempted to do this, and I think Tom was not on our side, particularly with COVID. This year, we asked them to postpone the open enrollment from January until June, and instead to start somewhere around May, to coincide with the better period with the MSATP members after the tax season, so that we can get a little bit of an undivided attention for this product. You thought
Sure.
so?
That'd be great. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time today. I've enjoyed talking with both of you, and I look forward to seeing you at seminars again as we come forward. So I hope you have a great 2022, and we look forward to seeing you again.
We're
So
very
take care.
excited, Bill. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your involvement and guidance.
Yeah, thank you
All
so
right,
much,
well, thank
Bill.
you. Yes,
Walter,
no
same
problem.
way. Thank you. Thank you, Walt.
All right.